All right, let's get started.
Yeah, attention. That's all she wants.
Welcome, everybody. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Additions to the agenda, I have two. One is a building use issue for a town picnic, and two is a dog catcher issue.
So moved. Second.
One will be new, the building use for the car show will be new business. And the other one will be old business for the dog catcher.
She made it, I seconded it. We do it in unison.
Fortunately, the guys did manage never to give my cell phone number to her.
Yeah.
Ted called me, he says, oh yeah, she called me, she wanted me to say to her. Good.
So moved, who seconded? Moved and seconded to add the building use issue to new business and the dog catcher issue to old business.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. I have no remarks. Our only guest is Chris, who we will get to. Open public comments, non-agenda items only. Seeing none, we move on. The elderly assistance thing, we're gonna have to hold off on until Mary Lynn and/or Mark gets here. Mary Lynn will probably not get here before the meeting ends, so hopefully Mark will show up and give us an update. So Chris, that means you're up.
So the first, the quarterly reports that I run is the incident analysis that I generally run. It indicates that between January 1st and the end of March, we generated 375 incidents here in Vernon. And that goes from everything from 911 calls to welfare checks, car stops, crashes, pretty much anything. And it's, starting business again as it gets nicer out, business picks up a little bit. Second sheet is again the Part A and Part B dispositions. We had 12, make sure I counted right. Yes, 12 separate Part A or B crimes. During that period, of those, 8 were cleared by arrest. And that ranged from everything from DUIs to suspended to, we had some burglary, one burglary, a couple assaults, use prevention order violation. I think actually both those assaults should be domestic assaults.
Very quick question.
Sure.
Under city, Guilford, how,
Yeah,
Where
so
does
the
that
stop, when the stop was made, the person had made it to Guilford.
Yep.
So that's just the location where the stop was
Yep.
for that.
yeah, I suspected, I just wanted, curious.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no other way to show it in the system. They put where we tell them we are, and that's where it is. But if you were to look into the actual arrest report itself, it would indicate that it was in Vernon.
Yep.
Yeah, again, nothing too out of the ordinary. I do know this burglary that occurred may have been a family member, may not have been a family member, not quite sure, but it's, you know, nothing that's way out there anywhere, so. You know, it's not like the door was kicked in or anything, so. That's what we got. Oh, I did actually, I almost forgot, I wanted to go over the, you see on the 18th, I believe it was, and the 28th of February, 2 unlawful mischiefs. Those were actually cases where they had occurred the night before. Somebody had driven through town and shot some vehicles with a BB gun. So. Yeah, that's what we got.
Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, very good. Thank you for coming in, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Regular meeting minutes from March 20th, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes from March 20th with the correction of Jeff Dunkley's name spelled correctly on page 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I saw that too.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Moved and seconded to accept the meeting minutes from March 20th as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
I abstained. Carol, I abstained.
Okay. Regular meeting minutes from April 17th.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept these with the following corrections under additions to the agenda. It should have made a motion to add handicap appointment. And on page 2, I believe that Stotling is the second constable, not the first constable.
Correct. You are correct. Is that it?
I don't know if it matters, but go ahead.
Approval of minutes was not due to corrections, it was lack of quorum. The bottom of page 1.
No, it was because we were missing page.
Yeah, we were-
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay,
was
that
a-
time
It was a
okay.
correction, yeah.
Okay.
It was a correction issue.
Yeah.
What are you seeing, Chris?
Page 2, old business, the sale of the fire department trailer, that's a donation. I don't know if that matters at all. I know it does say donate further in there.
Yeah, probably should say donate there. Because we did not sell it.
Where's the
emergency
constable one?
On page 2 under local emergency management.
Okay. Anybody else? Just got a motion to accept the meeting minutes as corrected. Do you need a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the regular meeting minutes from April 17th as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Bills and warrants.
I move that we. What's his name with me? Approve.
Yes.
I move that we
Warrants.
approve payment of the following warrants. Warrant 21T, account payable, $44,451.05. 16S payroll, $7,200, $7,260.30. And 17S payroll, $6,847.33.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the warrants as read. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Very good. Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust is wanting to add a flyer to our tax bill. It doesn't change our postage at all. I think we've done this before, actually. So if everybody's okay with doing that, and you have a copy of the flyer in your packet, understand what they're putting out there. Are we okay with doing that?
Yep, 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think we really need to make the motion, as long as we're all in agreement.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. So, that's good to go. Okay, so request for access drive through recreation land, so, Shane, I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. Sage, is requesting an access which is next to, he was here, I told him he didn't need to stay. Unless he wanted to, which he obviously didn't, because he didn't stay. Requesting access to have a path next to the Rec's garage area down by the rec department, which will require removing a few trees to do that, which he is willing to do himself. They are on the rec property, however, so we do have to look at the liability issues in that if one gets accidentally dropped on our garage or on our chain link fence or whatever the case may be. So that's what we're talking about, and that's the consideration in my mind.
So would he access it through the drive at the rec?
Yes,
And isn't that blocked off in the winter?
yes. So he would only have access when
He
there's
said he's not
snow.
gonna use it forever. He's
Oh, okay.
building.
He's building a garage.
Yeah, so he can't get to that place
Okay.
without going
Okay.
through. And,
Okay.
so he would maintain it, and he said he might use it 6 times a year or something like that. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be
Okay.
regular.
I just
Yeah.
wondered about the winter. Okay.
Yeah, he just can't get back there to build his garage without gaining access from that side.
Would the trees be coming down from a insured company, or is this?
He would like to do it to not have the cost,
I think
from what I understand.
that would be a problem if something did happen. I mean, how would
Yeah.
we get squared away with?
That's
with that?
why we're here talking about it. So, if we're okay, if he has an insured company do it, then we can make a motion to that effect. Or we can tell him no.
Does he have insurance that would cover it if something happened? Would he give us a certificate of the town being named?
I don't think it would matter because I don't know that,
Not on his property.
yeah. I mean, some homeowners' insurance will cover stuff that you do off your own property, but that, it just kind of depends on your insurance company. I tend to, think the way Chris is thinking, that he needs to hire a professionally licensed and insured company to take the trees down, so there's no liability that falls on the town.
I would be all right with it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Need that.
somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
So I make a motion that we approve the access that's requested on the grounds that he has the trees removed by a licensed and insured contractor.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the request to access drive to recreation land. Based on those conditions, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. So we will, can you let Shane and Seth know the result of that? The thing that we added is building use for the car show, so Hannah Gant came to Michelle and I, she's organizing the town picnic this year, and she would like to hold a car show, I believe, with the Now and Then Car Club on the day of the town picnic, the 30th, and be able to put the cars here in the parking lot and maybe up on the grass in the front and that kind of thing, just for something extra at town picnic. There's no real no liability, I don't think, or anything, with the exception of maybe the grass getting torn up when they leave or come or whatever, but I think that would be very minimal.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna come and just park and leave them, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the liability,
It's no different than
Is-
when everybody else's cars are parked here for the library or the town office or anything else.
yeah, and I mean, really, if you need to, they're doing it while the library's opened, so that can definitely be
Yeah.
sponsored by the library. That's not unusual for things like that
Sure.
to happen that way.
If you are willing to sponsor it, then it definitely is less of a problem than liability, so.
Yeah.
That's great. So we should probably make a motion to that effect that we allow them to do that. Probably is just a consensus thing, but I'd like to make a motion since it is a building use issue.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to allow the car show to happen at the town office sponsored by the library on behalf of the town picnic. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
I should be voting on that.
Old business, dog catcher issue, we asked that the second constable take on that role. He has refused that role, went to his lawyer to make sure he could refuse that role, which of course he can, because elected officials can refuse to do anything. So now we need to find our alternative to that. So that's just a heads up that that is happening. So as of June or July 1st?
July 1st.
July 1st, we will not have a dog catcher, so we need to take a look at what our alternatives are to finding someone to do that. So, and Mark is here. Come on up, Mark,
Wanna be a
we're gonna
dog?
come back to
Be
you.
the dog warden?
Mary Lynn is not coming, I don't think anytime soon, because she's preoccupied with work. So you get to explain to us what's going on, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if this needs to be an executive session issue or whether it's an open issue. You tell me, because I don't even know what's going on.
If you'd like a general discussion, then it could be open session, but if you want particular details about the situation,
General
then it would be best
discussion,
to go into executive session.
general discussion works for me.
So back in June of 2017, I was notified of a situation at a local property dealing with bed bugs. I became involved as the health officer, and
We talked about this previously, correct?
I believe you spoke with Marilyn about this. I haven't spoke to you directly about it.
Yeah. I know that as a board, we've heard about this.
So as a result of my inspection, did find bed bugs, evidence of bed bugs, and placed an order to correct on the property. The individual living at the property is financially strapped and did not have the finances to take care of the problem. As a result, I spoke with Marilyn in regards to the elder assistance program, and fortunately, it was a situation where she felt they could take on. And I want to say thank you to her and to you as the board for stepping up to the plate and helping the gentleman out financially. A professional exterminator was hired. They've treated the property. Unfortunately, there's been a problem on getting rid of the bed bugs. So it's actually, the process has been delayed and it's been extended out much longer than anybody anticipated. Which means, as a result of that, the cost has increased. And I believe Marilyn has spoke with you in regards to the expense. The latest report, which was given to me for April 20th, I believe, indicated there's no more bed bugs. That's the first inspection without bed bugs. The company goes in 3 times, and if they don't find bed bugs for the 3 inspections, then they deem it to be free of bed bugs, and they're no longer involved. So they have 2 more inspections to do. One, I believe, is May 14th, and the other is May 29th. We're hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that they don't find any. So we're optimistic. Unfortunately, that's Plan A. If Plan A doesn't work, then we have to go to Plan B. Plan B is that they have to continue to deal with the issue. Fortunately, I believe the Elder Assistance Program is limited on the funds that they can spend on a particular situation. And I believe they've exceeded that without the board's approval. With the board's approval, they can expend up to a certain amount without the board's approval. If they go over that, then they need the board's approval, which I believe the board has given that approval. So there's 3 more inspections. Each inspection costs $95. I believe that's going to exceed the amount that was approved by the board.
Okay.
The problem is if they find bed bugs, then what happens after that 3rd inspection? Does the board approve more funding to deal with the situation, or is it up to the individual to deal with the situation on his own? I think, like I said before, I think the Elderly Assistant Program and the board has been very generous and have gone above and beyond the duty. So I think it's time where the board may want to take a stance whether they're going to continue the funding or not.
Okay.
What
Chris?
was-
No, go ahead.
What was the original rationale for becoming involved in the first place? Is it a public health hazard, or is it just for helping out?
Bed bugs are regulated by the state sanitary code.
Mhm.
That's why I was involved. I actually received the initial call from Adult Protective Services.
Mhm.
So that's how, there is home health care involved. They call me on a regular basis to get an update. I can only provide an update based on the exterminator's inspections.
So this situation is expanded beyond the original scope or intent?
Yes.
Chris?
I don't really know that much about this situation. I wasn't part of that, but Sadie?
What happens in other towns in situations like this?
That's a very good question, Sandy. This is it's a rental property, but it's a single-family dwelling. So it's not like an apartment building. If it was an apartment building, I believe it would be a different stance and approach to dealing with it. Fortunately, the individual that I've been dealing with has not been cooperative with me. He's asked me to leave his property, doesn't want me there. So I'm kind of limited on what I can do.
Does this
You
fall
talking
under
about
any?
the owner or the tenant?
I'm
Uncooperative.
dealing with the tenant
Mm.
who is not cooperative.
Okay.
The owner has been cooperative.
Does this fall under any HUD thing?
No.
Being that he's elderly and it's a rental?
Not that I'm aware of. I have talked to home health care in regards to what can they do on their end. Unfortunately, they're limited on what they can do.
And it may be my ignorance, but I can probably almost guess that there are not too many towns around that have a fund like this. So there's not too many towns to look at in comparison to something like this. It's something that the town has afforded for our elderly for quite some time.
I'm just confused on why if it's a rental, why
Yeah, I didn't realize, I don't know.
By the
why
landlord
the
wouldn't be
property
responsible.
owner is not involved with this at all.
The state sanitation code requires that the individual tenant in a one unit is responsible.
But if it was,
Takes it away from.
but if
the
it was 2
landlord.
units, we could be talking to the landlord, not the town.
Correct. Or if there was more than 2 units and it was affecting more than 1 unit.
Gotcha.
Then the landlord would be more active
Okay,
or
Well-
involved.
let's see what happens.
I think the town is, and its representatives have attempted to help the situation, and it's a little concerning when you hear the word uncooperative. So my opinion is I think the town's helped enough.
Second.
I agree. So, we should probably make a motion to the effect that this particular situation, we don't want to use the owner's name in this.
Will you continue the funding through the May 29th inspection? So it'll be 2 more inspections. It'll be May 14th and May 29th, I believe.
It's the two at $95 a piece.
Yes.
It's not the 3 at $95 a piece.
I believe Marilyn said she hadn't paid or hadn't seen the
She hadn't
one
seen
for
it
April
both.
20th.
Okay.
So there'd be.
That makes sense, so there's gonna be 3.
I'll make a motion that we pay for the inspections, and that is the end of our responsibility.
All right, moved and seconded to continue payment for the last 3 inspections and then cease payment. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Good. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate all your work.
You're welcome. I will contact the state public health office.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's anything else that I should be doing as the health officer. But according to the town officer handbook,
I would,
pretty much done everything.
yeah, I'd let the
that-
landlord know too, even though he has no responsibility in it. If this issue comes back, it's his property. He may want to
Okay.
step up too.
So would you like me to draft a letter to the tenant saying that, up to this point, the town has been assisting, and after May 29th, will no longer?
Yeah, if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Or if Mary Lynn needs to do it as the,
Okay.
you and Mary Lynn sign it together, or however you want to do it,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right, I
don't
just
know.
want some direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That would be great. We appreciate it, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, public participation agenda items only. Seeing none. Correspondence and town admin report, please.
You have all the correspondence. I've been gone for a week, so I really don't have much to report.
Okay.
Oh, I do have actually one thing that just came up today. There is currently no Green Up Day coordinator
Correct.
in Vernon. So if you hear of anybody that might be interested, it doesn't necessarily have to be done this Saturday, but it's nice to spruce up the town after all the snow melts. So
Yep.
if you come across anybody that might be interested, let me know.
Are you going to a meeting in Bradford, VLCT, tomorrow?
There is a meeting on Wednesday, tomorrow, and it is,
PLC team.
we talk about the future needs of local government. It's the Brattleboro listening session for VLCT where we can bring concerns and different things to them, to provide input to them about how they can help us more. It's at the Municipal building on May 2nd at 6 PM. I do not plan on attending, so. The other things that we have coming up, Board of Abatement is Monday, May 7th, 6:30 right here. We are all on the Board of Abatement. Regular meeting, May 15th, 6:30. Spring Planning and Zoning Forum is in Rutland, May 23rd. Human Resources and Employment Law Workshop, May 29th, Montpelier. Building a Sense of Place Forum for Municipal Officers, June 14th in Killington. We are adjourned.